Hi guys, it's Colin again here today from Let's Talk Retro, and today I want to talk to you about this, the Arduboy. The Arduboy is an open-sourced Arduino-based device that you can not only play games on, but you can also easily program or learn to program your own games for, and then share them with the community via the Arduboy website. The Arduboy's creator Kevin Bates originally created it to be the ultimate business card to show his electronic skills to potential employers. But the fact that it could do so much more like play games, and that it got such a great reaction from everyone, led to Kevin leaving his job, moving to China to refine his invention, and then getting it successfully crowdfunded on Kickstarter. The credit-sized Arduboy is just 5mm thick, made of durable polycarbonate and aluminium construction, has a 1.3-inch black and white OLED display, a 2-channel piezoelectronic speaker, a rechargeable thin film lithium polymer battery that's good for at least 8 hours, and 6 tactile momentary push buttons set out in the original Game Boy D-pad and A and B button formation. Memory-wise, it has 32 kilobytes of flash memory, 2.5 kilobytes of RAM, and 1 kilobyte of EEPROM. Although it's still fairly early days for the Arduboy, there is already a growing library of over 50 games, demos and programs ready for you to download to your Arduboy via its micro USB port. If you're interested in buying yourself an Arduboy, you can pre-order a retail version today from the Arduboy website store for $39. So that, guys, in a nutshell is what the Arduboy is. It's a great little piece of kit if you ask me, and it took me back on a little nostalgia trip when I got it, not only because it looks like a modern day sort of Game Boy, it looks like if the original Game Boy was dragged into this sort of era, this is exactly what it would look like. But not only that, but it reminded me of the Commodore 64 and the Spectrum days when people were programming their own games in their bedrooms and releasing them for other people to play and stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited about this, to see where this is going to go, see what games people are going to make for it, what sort of software is going to come out with it, whether it's going to go off in a completely different direction. It's completely open source and anything can happen, so it's exciting times ahead if you ask me. But some people have asked me when they see me what this is like, what the construction's like, and it's actually made extremely well. This is really like a top class bit of kit. It's sort of, even though it's just like 0.5mm thick, just half a centimetre thick, it really is built to last. It's like got a real good build quality to it. It doesn't feel flimsy, it doesn't feel like it's going to bend, it doesn't feel like it's going to snap at all. It even feels like you could take it outside. You probably wouldn't want to try it, but you run it over in your car and it'd probably pick it up and it'd still work. Don't try that though, guys. Don't try that at home, as they say. But yeah, it's really got a good construction to it. The buttons on it are really good as well. They feel quite nice. They've got a nice click to them. These 4 buttons obviously set out in the original D-pad sort of formation, and then these 2 is an A and B button. You've got your micro USB socket on the bottom. The screen, people have said to me that the screen is maybe sort of a bit small, but it's an OLED screen. It's really bright, it's really sharp, and when you sometimes start looking at it and start playing a game, you sort of think, actually, it looks a little bit small, but once your eyes adjust to it, that's actually not too bad at all. So yeah, it's a really nice OLED screen on it. The sound, the speaker, it's not the loudest speaker. There's no way of turning the volume up or down, but that doesn't really matter to me. It's, as long as you've got the sound there. The only 2 sort of down points to it, I would say, is I find the on-off switch on the top here is maybe just a little bit too recessed for me. When I first got it, I must have had longer nails because I was turning it on and off okay, but as soon as I cut my nails, I found I started having trouble to flick the switch on and off. And the only other thing is there's not much memory on there for storing games. You can only store 1 game at a time, so maybe in future versions you'll be able to put like 3 or 4 on there and have a little menu and choose which one you want, but at the moment it's just 1 game at a time, so every time you want to change games you've got to plug this into your computer and load a new game up. But let's say it's early days and hopefully it's going to move on from there. But anyway, so without further ado, so I'm going to show you how to install some games in this video. So let's do this now. Let's go over to the computer and I'll show you what you got to do. Okay guys, so to get some games onto your Arduboy, the first thing you want to do is go to arduboy.com, www.arduboy.com here, and you can obviously just type that address into your web browser if you prefer. But once you get there, you'll get to this web page, and there's a little bit telling you about the Arduboy, which you can read if you like, but we're going to go right the way down to the bottom and click here on the Quick Start Guide. And once we've done that, you get a page which tells you a list of games that are available, and also a little sort of introduction bit which tells you there's two different versions of the Arduboy at the moment. There's the production version, which is a result of the Kickstarter campaign, which looks like this one here, like the one I've got. Or there's the dev kit version, or developer kit version, which is an older prototype version, which is still sort of like just like a printed circuit board basically. It hasn't got like a nice case around it or anything. It also tells you about CodeBender, which is the integrated development environment, or the IDE, that you go to, which is online. It's just like basically going to an online website, and it's where you can log in and then you can learn how to develop your own games for the Arduboy, or actually program your own games for the Arduboy. So we're not going to do that today. I might do that at another date, but what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the first step for downloading and installing the software that we need to get some games onto the Arduboy, and that is the Arduino software, because it's obviously the Arduboy is Arduino based. So it says here, click here to go to the Arduino download page, so you click on that. And then you get the options for what operating system you're using. So you've got Windows, Mac and Linux. I'm using Mac, but I'm pretty sure that it's basically the same way with all the different versions, no matter what operating system you're using. So once you've clicked on the operating system you want it for, you've got the option to contribute if you want to and download, or just download. So I'm just going to just download for now. So you can see that's downloading up here in this little box here for me. Now I've got my Mac set to automatically unzip folders once they're downloaded. Just saves an extra step, especially when you're making a video like this. So if you're doing this on a PC, you'll probably have to unzip it. So there we go. So I'm just going to drag that onto my desktop, and that basically is it, because this just self-booting, so we don't have to install it or anything. So I just click on here like so. It's just asking me because I'm just not sure it's from the internet, not sure whether I want to open it, but I do. So this is the Arduino software now, just starting up, and that's all there is to step one. So guys, after you've completed step one, we want to move on to step two. Obviously you've got to navigate your way back to the Quick Start Guide if you want to follow the instructions. And so the step two is to install the Arduboy library and board support. And it basically tells you to go to Sketch, Include Library, Manage Libraries, search for the Arduboy library and then install it. So if we just go back to the Arduino software, go to Sketch, Include Library, Manage Libraries, and we're just searching here for Arduboy, and you see it pops up, and it's telling me actually that we've got 1.0 installed, which is quite an old version I think, because I've played around with this before. So if you go to select version, you want the latest version, which is 1.10, and then just click install. So that should have installed the latest version, and then just close that down. And now there's an extra step you can do on this. If you go and have a look at the tool section and where it says board, the board they tell you to use at the moment is the general one, which is Arduino Leonardo, but you can actually set this up to say Arduboy or Arduboy Development Kit, depending on which you've got. It just makes it easier to remember than having to remember Arduino Leonardo if you don't sort of use it that often. So to do that, they'll pop up down the bottom here once you've done that. So what you've got to do is you've got to go to the Preferences section and insert this URL into the Additional Boards and Manager URL section. So that's the URL there that we're going to put in. So you can just copy that and then go on to the Arduino Preferences section, Additional Boards, Manager URLs, and just paste that in like so, and click OK. And the next step to doing this is you want to go to the Tools section and the Boards, and go to Boards Manager. And again, in the filter search, you want to type in Arduino, Arduboy, and it'll come up like this with Arduboy by Arduboy team, boards included in this package, and tells you what boards are included, the Arduboy and the Arduboy dev kit. Click on that and click Install, and that's done. Now when you go back over to Tools and your Boards, down the bottom you've got Arduboy or Arduboy dev kit. So we want Arduboy because that's what I've got, so just click on that. And that completes step 2. So after step 2, obviously it's on to step 3, and it's happy days because it's time to try opening and uploading an example sketch. Now the sketch, if I haven't already said before, basically is the program or the game that we're going to be loading to the Arduboy. So it says to try doing a sample or an example sketch first, because they've definitely been tested properly. They know they work okay. Because obviously the games that we're going to be downloading and trying on this, they're developed by just people like myself or me and you, and basically they may be little bugs in there if they haven't quite got things right. So if you do an example sketch first, you know that it's definitely going to be right and should work properly. So what we've got to do first of all then is plug our Arduboy in via the USB socket. Now it doesn't actually come with a USB cable, so you have to supply one yourself. And just a word of warning, there are some people that said when they've tried to plug it in, their PC or their computer hasn't recognised the Arduboy. And the reason why that is, most people say, is because when you get, by say for example your phone, and it comes with a micro USB cable, it's just done for charging, it doesn't actually transfer any data. So you might want to make sure that if you have any problems getting your Arduboy to show up on your computer, that the USB cable that you're using does actually transfer data. So what we need to do is we've plugged in our Arduboy, and I'm just now going to go to Tools, and the board we're using is obviously Arduboy. We set that in the last section. And then the port we want to go to, it's not actually showing it because I haven't turned my Arduboy on. That's another important thing. Once you plugged it in, you need to turn it on. I don't know whether it's just going to show up or whether I'm going to have to restart. Maybe just restart the software to make it actually show up. Sure, back to Tools and Arduboy, and there we go, it's actually found it. It's this one there, the Arduino Leonardo on the end. It's found as a USB modem 1411 Arduino Leonardo. So basically it's now set up. The software knows what sort of Arduboy I've got and knows what USB port I've got it plugged into. So we can now try uploading or downloading the sketch. So it said to try a sample one. So if we go to File, Examples, and we'll go down to Arduboy, and I'm going to do the Arduboy Breakout, which is like Arkanoid basically. I think actually when it installs it says it's Arkanoid, so it's a good game which I always used to enjoy playing, and you can try out first of all on your Arduboy. So I've just clicked on it and that's opened up the sketch for it. This is basically the program, and if you know what you're doing with your program languages, you can go in and change that and make it do different things if you wanted to. It's all part of the open source part of the Arduboy. Now what you can do is you can go to Sketch and you can do verify and compile, and that'll just check to see if there's any problems with the game before it downloads it. Or you can just do upload and they'll just take it straight to your Arduboy. Or you can, the easiest way is just to click on this upload arrow there. You see it's compiling the sketch down the bottom here, and it's transferred it over fine. The Arduboy's just restarting, and it's now got Arkanoid or Ardu Breakout installed on it. So it's all working fine, so happy days. So now that you're ready to actually download some more games, you want to go back to the Arduboy homepage, and the easiest way I find to find the full list of games is to click on play and then click on find more, and then you have the full list of games going all the way down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download first of all Shadowrun, and that's just by an organisation or a sort of group of people called Team ARG or Team ARG. Don't know how they pronounce it. So if I click on that, it shows you a bit more about the game, a little video clip of it running, and then tells you where to download it here. So I'm just going to click on that. So it takes you to the Team ARG or Team ARG website. This is where you can download all their games, which is slightly different to most people. Most people just put them on GitHub, but they've got their own website set up. So you click on downloads for the version of the game you want, and the Shadowrun AB V15 version 15 zip. So you click on that, and that's downloading now into my download section. But it's already downloaded because they're only small games. They download really quick, only 41 kilobytes. And my Mac again has unzipped the folder for me, so I just drag that onto my desktop. And then I'm just going to go back and download another game from the list. And there's a nice Pac-Man clone that I like called Arduman. And if I go to this page for this one, see it running. And this one is actually on GitHub. You see it says get from GitHub. So you click on that to go to GitHub. And once on GitHub, you want to click clone or download and choose download zip, which is now just loaded or downloaded already. Again, very quickly in 19 kilobytes, unzipped for me. So just drag it onto the desktop. So once you've got those two games actually downloaded, you want to go to your documents. This is exactly the same on the PC. It puts into a folder into your documents called Arduino. And once you've got that folder open, there'll be a libraries folder already in it, and you just want to drag these two folders into that Arduino folder in your documents. So once that's in there, you can then close that down, and if we go to our Arduino software and go to Sketch, so not Sketch, go to File and Sketchbook. Actually, you see there's nothing in there at the moment because you need to refresh your software for it to see them. And so go to your File, Sketchbook, and you see it's put Shadowrun, but the Arduman, the Pac-Man one, is not showing, and I've done that for a reason to show you why it's not there in a minute. So I'm going to just double click on the Shadowrunner sketch, and it opens up the sketch for you. It's a little bit of information about it and the actual sketch for the game. And again, just like before, you click on this right arrow, which is your upload arrow, and then it starts compiling the sketch, and then installs it onto your Arduboy. Your Arduboy flashes the LEDs on it, resets, and you've got that game installed on the Arduboy. So now I'm just going to go back and show you why the Arduman didn't show up in the sketch book, and that is because we go back into the Arduino folder. You'll see on the Shadowrun it's called S or Shadowrun -AB underscore version 15, and if you go into that, you'll see there should be an INO file or INO file, which is exactly the same name as the actual folder it's in. And that is the thing that I've had to find out the hard way. I didn't quite understand this when I first started doing this. Team ARG normally put them in the right folder, called the same as the INO file, and you're just ready to go. Other people sometimes just put them in a game folder with master on the end. If we go into this one and have a look for the INO file or the INO file, there it is. It's called Arduman underscore Arduboy lib 11, and that's all exactly right there. apart from the dash master bit. So if we just go back one, and we'll just rename the folder that it's in so that it doesn't have the master bit on it. So it's named now exactly the same as the inno file or ino file. And then if we just restart our Arduino software and go to the sketchbook, you'll see now that both games are showing up. We've got Shadowrun and Arduman. So click on that. That's opened up the sketch for Arduman, and you just again on the upload button click, and it's compiling the sketch. And now I should have my Arduboy is just flushing away now, resetting, and Arduboy is now set on there ready to play. So that's great. So that's basically all there is to it, guys. It's just downloading the games once you've got the software installed, making sure that the folder that they're in is named exactly the same as the INO file, and you're away. So that, guys, is how you get games onto your Arduboy, and I think you'll agree that it's not actually too hard, just a matter of following a few simple steps from the quick start guide on the Arduboy website. So I'm really excited to see whether this is going to go. Like I say, I think there's going to be a lot more games coming out for it very soon. If you're interested in getting one, if you haven't got one, you can pre-order now on the Arduboy website for $39. They said that they'll be shipping them in spring. That's obviously gone, so they say shipping soon now. So hopefully you'll be able to get your hands on one very soon if you haven't already done so, maybe for the Kickstarter campaign. But anyway, yeah, so until next time, guys, keep it retro, and I'll see you soon.